Would you call someone who has extremely high blood pressure, hair loss, gyno, acne, sleep apnea, and shortness of breath from just existing as healthy? No, of course you freaking wouldn't. So how can Genetic Anomaly sit there with a straight face in a lot of videos that he's made recently and yet still claim to be healthy? Sometimes I'm watching the clips and I almost understand where he's coming from. And then I have to remind myself that no, my eyes aren't deceiving me. This guy is getting progressively worse and worse in almost every single video that he's doing. And the signs are there that he's not healthy at all. It's quite sad, honestly, and I'll go into it further in this video. But first, thank you. Thank you for all the support that you give to the channel. It genuinely does mean so much. And if you consider subscribing as a new viewer, it would genuinely mean the world.
Subscribe to Cal.
Bro, I look like freaking B-Tech Josh Brett in this Betty t-shirt, mate. Now, Genetic Anomaly posted a video recently called I Want to Become Mr. Olympia, a goal of pretty much every single bodybuilder out there who is actively pursuing bodybuilding. An obvious goal that bodybuilders would have, but of course it comes with side effects when you're pushing that much bloody gear, when you're putting on that much bloody weight, when you're pushing that much food, when you're putting your body under that much stress. And just watching this video that he's posted, it becomes extremely obvious already the side effects. You'll notice throughout the video that he has a lot of gut distension. He's bloody bloat maxing, mate. You can see that the guy has extremely impressive muscle mass on his frame, especially for someone who may remind you this guy's 22 years old, which is bloody crazy to say and is actually quite interesting to keep in mind once you see the side effects going later on in the video. But that gut distension is, of course, just from pushing excessive amounts of food. The guy's actually put on a lot of mass recently because he had to cut down a lot last year. And so he's going to be pushing a lot of meals, which makes him extremely bloody bloated. But what does his diet consist of? Has he got the secret sauce, or is it bare bones basic? Is he eating the chicken, rice, and broccoli that freaking everybody eats? Has he got a bunch of oats, or is he drinking some secret mass gainer shake or something like that? No, it's puke.
I just threw up. I need to show this, you know, because people don't see off camera.
That's not even...
I'm gonna eat this, like, this is how
I'm not looking at this.
extreme it can get, you know. You don't need to look, you just need to show them.
That's the most turned off I've ever been in my entire life.
I was telling you to be turned on. This is the grind here, you know, this is how I get big.
Is that the secret? Is that the secret? Have we been doing it wrong this whole time? No longer should we be eating all this stuff. Or never watch a video on a diet ever again. Maybe consider that Mike Israel diet that we looked at recently.
Down to about 6% body fat, 5 slices dark rye bread, protein puffs that are nacho cheese flavor.
But puke might be where it's at. No, seriously, that is freaking disgusting. But it is nothing compared to the actual side effects that he's really getting later on in the video, like not being able to breathe from just existing, being sat down, and being out of breath.
Are you out of breath just from going to pee?
No. I'm out of breath from existing.
Alright.
I'm getting too big. That's okay.
Let's slap on another 7 kilo.
Brother, what? Mate, there's one thing when you see a bodybuilder doing exercise and then they're out of breath. There's one thing seeing a bodybuilder trying to walk around and do some cardio and they're out of breath. But just being sat here, imagine if I was sat here right now recording this video. Bro, you'd be worried. You'd probably be commenting, Cal, bro, what the hell's going on, mate? But so anyone in their right mind when watching this would say the exact same thing. Even he admits it himself that he just gets it from existing, yet he wants to gain more muscle. His girlfriend even jokes about it in the video. Oh yeah, let's get an extra 7 kilos or something.
Let's slap on another 7 kilo.
And then imagine for a second if he started, doing some activity, standing up, for instance. I thought that one. But what about, okay, what about lifting weights or even posing? Because posing can be quite strenuous.
I'm so pumped. I can barely flex or breathe. It's crazy, it feels like my muscle's gonna pop. More reps, more sets. I like working out.
And that seems to be bloody demonstrated right there. Now, yes, bodybuilding posing can be quite strenuous. Most people think it's just like you just strike an awkward looking pose and then that's it. No, you have to be flexing pretty much every single muscle in your body, which is being presented, if you know what I mean. And that can be very strenuous when you're holding it for such a long time. So I understand, for instance, why he does seem to look a bit strained. But when you look like bloody Thanos, bro, Thanos maxing, mate, that of course does become extremely concerning. In fact, throughout this whole video, he seems to be bloody Thanos maxing. He's purple. Mate, talk about bloody blood pressure issues. I remember throwing up some overlays on the screen before of Costas Vi, and he had an extremely high systolic blood pressure. But mate, when you just look at this bro, and he stood in the gym looking like Thanos doing some flexes, he doesn't even need the cuff around his arm to do a blood pressure test. This is extremely concerning already, let alone the fact that his breathing progressively gets worse.
I can barely flex or breathe.
Bro. Oh my days.
You idiot!
What reminder, this guy's 22 years old and he still claims to be healthy in videos. I just want to put that out there, just to remind you guys. Oh my days. The funny thing is, people aren't oblivious to this either. There's one thing if it was just me, some chud sat in his room, or it was you guys commenting, chud sat in your, I'm joking guys, okay, you're not chuds. You're all goated. I appreciate all of you. But there's one thing just us looking at this stuff. There's one thing other commentary YouTubers making videos on this stuff. But even his girlfriend is extremely concerned for this guy. We've mentioned this in other videos previously. She's more concerned for him probably than anyone because she's one of the closest people to him.
Do you want people to want to get to your size, or are there any major downsides? There are actually major downsides, so many of them, like not being able to breathe. That's one. You can't even walk upstairs without breathing like this. Like this size is just crazy, and it's not maintainable forever at all.
Yeah,
so.
it's not, no.
Like, bro, are you not concerned at all? You don't need to listen to me. You don't need to listen to the comment section. You don't even listen to the comment section on your videos. Or anyone. Bro, your own partner, mate. But this seems to be for a good purpose. He has a goal in mind. If we can all remember, the title of the video is that he wants to become Mr. Olympia. At least this guy has a freaking goal. Because think about it. There are guys out there who are doing this recreationally. They don't necessarily even like competing. They just like getting big and taking body performance enhancing drugs. That is the bottom of the bottom in regard to stupidity, in my opinion. Or the top of the top, or the peak of stupidity, however you want to bloody word it. So all I can say is at least he has a goal in this sense, but it of course clearly demonstrates the stress the bodybuilders put on themselves to really pursue this goal. It's just the stress that they put on their bodies. You can sit there and say, oh, men's physique and classic physique isn't as bad. And yeah, okay, it's not as bad as open bodybuilding per se, but these guys are still taking high dosages of performance enhancing drugs. Of course, these guys are pushing a lot of food to put that mass on. These guys are putting stress on their body when they go down to an extremely low body fat percentage. Genetic Anomaly hasn't really competed yet. He has the aspiration of competing within the next sort of 1 to 2 years, I think. But still, all unnecessary stress in pursuit of this goal. Yet still in recent videos, this guy's claimed that he's healthy.
And it's like people are quick to judge about my health and how it's going just from the little clips that I show you on my YouTube. But like overall, I do claim and say that my health is good. So why do you keep like telling me you're gonna die and stuff? You know, I just don't get it, but it's fine. You know, I feel like that's just, it's what comes with it.
But I think the best way to look at this is there's actual health and then there's bodybuilding health. Now what I mean by that is this. There's being a healthy person, i.e. you're a healthy body fat percentage, you're doing things naturally, building muscle naturally, exercising regularly, eating a clean sort of like whole food diet, right? Balanced diet where you're hitting every micro and macronutrient so that your body's functioning properly, you're getting good sleep, so on and so forth, you're living a healthy lifestyle. And then when you're bodybuilding, that pretty much gets thrown out the bloody window. Just talking about enhanced bodybuilding, because of course we're talking about Genetic Anomaly here, you're doing all the things we just mentioned previously, but of course you can take the precautions to ensure that you're going to be living the healthiest that you can. The healthiest that you can be whilst doing these things, i.e. taking ancillaries, having a healthy diet, getting good sleep, having a sleep apnea machine, which he is doing, admittedly, fair play to the bro.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Ensuring that you're living the healthiest lifestyle that you can whilst pursuing this goal. Yet it's hard to watch when in one breath, if he can breathe, not joking, in one breath he's saying he's healthy and then in the next just seeing him have all the side effects that we've gone over in this video.
It's funny to me because I feel like bodybuilding is the only sport where we get so much hate just for chasing our dream. Like for me, I want to get big, I want to compete on the Olympia stage. Yes, bodybuilding is dangerous. We all know that we sacrifice a bit of our health to be the best, but that's the same in every extreme sport. In MMA, they get hit in the head like so many times. Like that is extreme, that is a dangerous sport. But you don't tell an MMA guy, don't fight because it's dangerous. You know,
so true.
I don't get why you would tell a bodybuilder to not take steroids or just don't get big. No, like it's what I want, you know, I want to get big.
Plus he uses the argument of, oh, people watch fighters and they're never really concerned about the issues that come with fighting, about the risks that come with fighting, people getting, you know, concussions and head trauma, and it just completely ruins their life in some cases, and other people even die from fighting. Yeah, I understand that, but bro, I don't watch fighting, so you can't use that against me. Now, okay, look, he makes a good point there. A lot of people won't look at fighters and say, oh wow,
like, bro, think about it. You're gonna go in there and get your head bashed in by another person in, you know, the octagon in MMA, or you're gonna go into boxing and you're almost risking your life in a way.
Or you're going into power slap and just standing there whilst getting slapped by someone. That doesn't make sense at all. And so I understand where he's coming from. And in that way, it does make sense. People look at bodybuilders and say they're extremely unhealthy. Why the hell are they doing this? Whilst also praising other guys like fighters and other athletes who are also putting their health at risk. So I see what he means, but I would argue that you can still enjoy something whilst also being critical of it. Take this channel, for instance. I love bodybuilding, I love going to the gym. I can sit there and appreciate that this guy has a great work ethic. I can appreciate the fact that he has a great physique, he has great genetics, he's really dedicating his life to this, and I admire that. But I'm not going to sit there and be blind to this stuff and say, oh, yeah, I don't really care, bro. You have a great physique. How many people do that on social media? Oh, yeah, you have a great physique, bro. Oh, yeah, why are you critiquing, bro? You're just jealous, bro. No, it's called being a human being and being bloody concerned. You'd be an idiot to be blind to this stuff. And many people aren't blind to this stuff. If you were to look at the comments in the video, you can see stuff like, so healthy. Yeah, for sure. That's the pinned comment. I'm sure Genetic Anomaly was reading that, buddy, rubbing his hands. Other people saying, I hope he lives long enough to accomplish that goal. Me too, man. The guy's a great physique. And then someone who actually was in the comments saying, this bodybuilding stuff is so destructive. The pressure you're putting on your organs is crazy. The heart, liver, kidneys, it's a lot. Just lifting heavy, there are short periods of time where there is no blood in the heart when it's pumping. As you get older, you'll start to wise up. I too was into bodybuilding when I started in 1999. I wanted to become like Jay Cutler and all the other 90s and early 2000s bodybuilders. I killed myself for what? Nothing. Been there, done that. I'm glad I wised up. I think the difference between you and Genetic Anomaly though is Genetic Anomaly does have crazy genetics. I don't know what that guy's physique looks like, but you can just see from Genetic Anomaly that he has the potential to go far in bodybuilding because his genetics are that great. He's already called Genetic Anomaly for a reason, yet the comment still has a good point. All this stuff is really interesting to me because I think you can admire someone's hard work, you can admire the dedication they have, and of course the results that they're getting, whilst also being critical of what's actually going on and not being blind to it and just like completely just sucking up to him like,
Genetic Anomaly, you look so cool, bro. I'm just gonna completely overlook at the fact that you're having this hair loss and the gyno and the blood pressure and the shortness of breath from just existing and all this stuff, bro.
No, I'm not gonna do that. And I know that you're not gonna do it either when you let me know what your opinion is in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of this situation. I do think it's extremely interesting. Look, don't just be overly critical and say he's been a numpty and he's gonna die in 5 years. Give me your genuine, honest opinion. It may be similar to mine, it may be different, and maybe your honest opinion is you think he's just going to drop dead in the next few years. I don't know. Either way, let me know. If you want to support the channel, you can like and subscribe. It genuinely does mean so much. Consider subscribing. Check out the videos here. I'm sure if you love this video, you'll love them as well. Go freaking check them out. And until next time, I really do want to see how Genetic Anomaly progresses in the future, and I want to see this guy freaking compete, man. It's been long enough.